Well, good morning. Welcome, everybody. This is just the most exciting day for me. We're about to launch our Diet Busters program. You'll see as we go through the slides, the reason that I've decided to do this is because in my lifetime, and I'm damn near 60, I've tracked my diet plan over the last 5 decades, the last 50 years, and just simply I'm so frustrated, and I've got to a place where it's enough now. It's enough. All the crap that these people feed you, the absolute nonsense about try this and diet pills and oh dear God, everything that you possibly could imagine. All right, so what I've done is I've done a hell of a lot of research. Basically, I did it for myself, and I wanted to find something that I could shift the extra weight that I picked up, and that I'm going to keep it off forever. So I do believe that I've come up with something absolutely magical. Let's face it, guys. If you're looking for a magic pill that you can take and wake up tomorrow and you're 10 kgs lighter, it doesn't exist. Okay, it simply does not exist. And if anybody promises you that, and you see all these adverts and all this nonsense, it's rubbish. Okay, it doesn't exist. But there is a way that what on my advice now, on the research that I've done, and what we can do is you can actually turn your life around, and you can become a lot healthier, and you can lose any of the unwanted kilos, and it will be life sustainable, and this I promise you. All right, so we're going to go through the program, and welcome, and I hope you get as much out of it as I've actually put in. Okay, so as you can see, these are photographs. This is me. This is not one of these sets of photographs that you see that people advertise and they put it on and they say this is a before and after, and it took me 1 month to lose 15 kgs. This was a very long, hard road. I was part of Weight Watchers. I must admit I lost the bulk of my weight on Weight Watchers. I was on it for 11 months and I lost 22 kgs. I'm pretty comfortable with that weight loss, but the problem is once you come off a diet, and as you will see later on, once you come off a diet, then you start to pick up, and I'll show you the stats of why you start to pick up, and how you need to find something that is life sustainable. So on the left, that's the picture of me. That was before I started the very strict diet, and then this is the after picture. All right, what does the word diet mean to you? Does it mean a restricted calorie eating plan that you can go on and then you come off? Because that's what happens, is it's a diet, and the whole mentality of I go on it, then I come off it, and when I come off it, what happens then? Do you follow the rules just for a certain period of time? Because none of us, if you're going on a diet, you cannot sustain it for longer, and I would say for myself, it's longer than 6 months. That's where I kind of hit the wall at 6 months. I know you hear about people staying on diets for 2 years or something, but they are the exception to the rule, and it's a period of time. It's a limit to what you're going to stay on the diet for. Alright, so then what happens? You come off the diet and you resume your normal eating, and all the weight that you have lost, you're going to pick up. That's absolute guaranteed, and you're going to pick up more because your body is now going to punish you for starving it for that length of time. Alright, and all you do is you hope that you won't pick up the weight that you've lost, but I guarantee that you will pick up the weight that you've lost. Alright, this is the reason that diets don't work, okay? You didn't fail on your last diet. Your diet failed you. They are so badly designed that it's about the diet. It's about what you're on, and that's why you probably come off the diet and you feel like a failure, but it's not true. It's because of the diet that you were on. It failed you. You didn't fail it, see? Alright, now for some reason, like Weight Watchers and Wayless and all these people that do the slimming programs and stuff, they're quite content to have the stats of only 5% of the people that go on diet they will lose weight. Everybody loses weight on a diet, see, everybody does, but it's a matter of keeping it off. That's the secret. And for some reason, these weight loss people, they're quite comfortable just to be left with, well, you know what, okay, 5 out of every 100 people, they manage to keep their weight off. That's absolute nonsense. See, we've got to find a way, and if I was looking at stats, I want only 5% to pick up the weight again, as opposed to 95% to pick up the weight again. Right, this is how the yo-yo effect works. You're overweight, you go on diet. You lose some weight, you stop your diet. You regain that weight plus some. Here's the bonus, plus some. And that's an actual fact. And I'll explain to you a little bit later on why that happens. But this is actual fact. Anybody that's gone on a diet, on a calorie-restricted diet, will pick up that weight and more. Okay. Right, the best way, the very best way to gain weight is to follow a calorie-restricted diet. That's the best way to gain weight. You know, they did a survey and they took these guys in the gym that wanted to pick up weight, all right? They wanted to pick up some mass. And what they did is they put them on a calorie-restricted diet. Okay, because they knew when they came off that calorie-restricted diet, they would pick up the weight that they'd lost and some. And that's what they did. They did the yo-yo diet in effect for these guys in the gym so that they would gain weight. This is absolute fact. All right, now I'm going to give you a little bit of background on my journey so far, because I'm the typical example of a yo-yo dieter, all right, and this has been my journey this far, okay. It all started basically in the 60s, and I blame Twiggy, all right, or I blame the people that actually invented this supermodel Twiggy, okay, is they brought out this model to which she basically was anorexic. If you look at that picture on the right-hand side, you can see that she's basically anorexic, okay, and they said no, and this, all us young girls, we thought this is what we have to look like, okay. It was not possible to look like that without starving yourself to death, so this is what I did. I did basically my weight journey, and I took it over the last 50 years, okay, because as I said, it basically started in the early 70s for me, okay, and I left school in 1970, and I weighed 60 kgs, and my body was pretty damn comfortable with weighing 60 kgs, and then within 5 years, and I've just done a kind of in a 5-year period, and it was quite an eye-opener, to be honest, for myself, doing this, and thinking, oh my God, no wonder I've struggled all these years, okay, and of course, with it comes, every time you go on a diet, comes that thing, is when you come off you pick up weight again, you beat up on yourself so badly. And I know there's a couple of guys on this webinar today, but I'm sorry, you girls, it's mostly us. See, it's that whole self-image that we've got, and we pick up weight and we think we're fat, and every time we look at ourselves and oh no, you picked up the weight again, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. Okay, all right. So then 5 years later, I went up to 70 kgs, and the reason was, I know for myself, is when I was at school, I played a lot of sport, and then 5 years later, I wasn't playing sport anymore, so I gained weight. Now what I should have done is just gone back to playing sport, okay, but I thought, let's go on diet. So in the next 5 years, I went down to, by 1980, I'd gone down to 54 kgs. Now at my height, 54 kgs is absolutely ridiculous. I must have looked anorexic, to be perfectly honest, and all sorts of strange things started to happen with my body. Oh God, and I tried fiber tablets, and oh my word, I went down to 54 kgs. Then in the next 5 years, my body kind of settled a bit, and I went back up to 65 kgs. Now, as you can see in the red there, I've written I only picked up 2 kgs a year, which isn't a hell of a lot. I mean, it's like a couple of meals out sort of thing. So it sort of creeps up on you before you realize. 1990, I then hit my mark of 70 kgs after I'd had my children, and I thought, oh God, this is going to be the heaviest I'm ever going to be. So in the next 5 years, I thought, take my weight back under control again, and I managed to then keep it at 65 kgs until the year 2000. Then all sorts of magical things happened to me emotionally in the year 2000. So between 2000 and 2005 is, if anybody was to say to me that they're emotional eaters, listen, I took it to a whole new level. See, I gained 35 kgs in those 5 years, and the thing is, it may take you 5 years to get it off, and logically you think, but I want to get it off in a month. In theory, it should take you another 5 years to get it off as well, all right? But none of us have got the patience to do that. So I gained 35 kgs in that time. So here we get to 2010, and I've realized, no, hang on a second. In 2010, I've then taken it year by year. I then joined Weight Watchers at 96 kgs. And on Weight Watchers, I must admit, I lost weight. I went down to 74 kgs. So I lost 22 kgs on Weight Watchers, and I thought, now this is great. Okay, now Weight Watchers, I don't know if any of you out there have been on Weight Watchers, but it is somewhat of a calorie reduced, and certainly very much a fat eating of saturated fat conscious thing. Now for me, the thing is, they didn't educate me. They didn't give me the information to say, like, there aren't any good fats. They just said fat is bad. right? And what I did is I stayed away from fat altogether, and my skin got all dry, and I was itching all the time, and because it wasn't a balanced diet. You can't sustain something that's not a balanced diet. Okay, so this was now 2011. I'm down 74 kgs. I stopped Weight Watchers because I don't want to go there anymore, and I don't want to be looking after my calories anymore. And boom, here comes the weight again, and it starts to climb. So this is mid 2012, and since mid 2012, I've decided. I then started to do the research. Now I'm going to just throw this out there, and I'm not going to confuse you with lots of facts and figures, but I've been investigating the whole thing of glycemic index, all right, the GI. Now we're not going to go into the technicalities because I'm going to show you how you can eat and it can be sustainable for life. And this is what I've been doing, and my weight now has come down again, and I'm stable, and I'm eating more healthy than I've ever eaten in my whole life. I feel fantastic. My skin is good. I've got more energy, and it's just too wonderful. And I put down at the bottom right there, I put, this is my QBE. So all the years that I've been trading, and think you're qualified for or not qualified for, this is the thing in my life that I've decided that I am the most qualified for. And if you want to know what a QBE is qualified by experience. I am more than experienced of 50 years of experience, and I can tell you what works and I can tell you what doesn't work. All right.